What if the contrast, the thing that you thought came here to break you, the thing that you thought came here to disrupt your life, was actually your blessing, was actually your breakthrough? Hear me out. I'm looking back at my life and I'm looking at the things that led me to where I had the most forward momentum, the most quantum leaps in my life, big changes. And it all started with what I perceived to be something negative initially. For example, back in 2021, I had this promotion at the job that I had at the time, and I decided that I'm loving the life that I'm living with this promotion. And I abandoned my dreams of buying a home because I was living in an apartment that I paid $600 a month for, and that was huge and expansive. It didn't have all the other things like a yard and a nice neighborhood that I wanted, but I was paying $600 a month and making about $5,000 a month. And I thought I could just stay here. But God said, no, girl, we're not doing that. And so one weekend, my landlord and I agreed that I would leave for the weekend so that he could work on my apartment and the bathroom. I needed renovations and stuff. And when I got back a few days later, I had mice. We didn't realize it initially. I just heard noises in the middle of the night, but there were mice. One thing about me, I can't deal with mice. So initially, after I reported it, nothing was really happening. So I said to my landlord after about 2 or 3 weeks, um, or maybe it was a month, if we don't resolve this issue, I will be out of this house by the end of the summer. I think I said I'll be out of here by September 1st. And that's ultimately what happened. By September 21st, I signed closing papers for my new home, the home that I live in now. Now, it was always my dream to buy a house. Yet, when the opportunity came and the funds came for me to purchase a home, I didn't move on it. And I think God said, oh, we have a way to make you move. Because one thing that's going to make me move is if you bring rodents into my life, because that I cannot handle. I can handle a lot of things, but that not going to handle. The other thing, as I'm thinking about contrast or, the unexpected, things that we see initially as an adversity, if we choose to view it as a positive, which I know in the moment it's hard to view as a positive, but like, for example, my diagnosis of cancer. I don't want cancer. I don't want to have cancer. I'm healthy now. I don't believe it's ever going to come back. I'm healed. But had it not been for cancer, I would have been living a life full of mindset beliefs that had not been serving me for quite some time. And I continue to live that life because it was just familiar, because it was the norm, because it was what was expected of me. It was what I convinced myself was easier. In hindsight, it wasn't. I constantly betrayed myself. I sacrificed my own happiness to accommodate the needs of others, and it was never enough. Allow your contrast, the things that you didn't expect, allow the contrast to be your blessing. All it was required is to reframe your narrative, right? I could have easily, when those mice came into my apartment, I could have freaked out, lived with it, said, Forget, I'm just going to live this way, get exterminators upon exterminators or whomever to deal with what it is and help me out," and stayed in that, 3-bedroom tenement apartment. I could have chosen that, but my spirit wanted more. My spirit knew that I was destined for more, that my kids deserved more. And that was the only way at that time that I was gonna move. Some mice were gonna kick me out of my apartment, and I'm so grateful for now because I love where I live. I know also that from the day I moved in here, this was not my forever home. Something tells me that in my spirit. And I can't wait to see where I end up next and can't wait to share that with you guys. But yes, find a way to allow the contrast, the unexpected, what some could choose to see as a negative thing or the adverse thing, the tragedy in your life. Find some way to see as the blessing, the thing that makes you pivot, the thing that puts you on a whole other trajectory that makes you quantum leap timelines and gets you closer to the life that you desire. I want that for you. God wants that for you. There's always a silver lining.